Hello and good afternoon. Today, my presentation will include a reflection of my leadership growth and development throughout my course. My name is Patty Hoffer, and I can't wait to share what I've learned and how it can help me in the future to be a better leader. I will briefly speak about how I view leadership, my role as a leader in nursing education at the start of this course, and a brief reflection on each unit regarding leadership growth and development that I've learned throughout this course. How I view leadership. Today, I continue to think about being a leader in a leadership position. Although most of people go into a leadership position hoping to change their current situation, they unfortunately sometimes are met by those who don't share the same ideas. When this occurs, we start to rethink our reasons for taking on such challenges. I believe you have to approach a leadership position very carefully. You need to have an understanding of the role and responsibilities that accompany that role. Having leadership experience can help you to better understand your employees who rely on you to lead them in the right direction. Although my initial experience in a leadership role was not what I expected, I believe you need the knowledge, skills, and abilities to take on those roles. I also believe that through leadership growth and development, you can truly lead others to their fullest potential while meeting the mission and vision of any organization. I am not in a leadership position in nursing education at the start of this course. I was not. However, I can reflect on my experience as a manager 15 years ago. I was hired into a position with no previous management experience. I was rather quite new to the operating room. I was put in a position to learn as you go. I had no mentor, nor was I offered any leadership training. To say the least, I did my best to meet the needs of the employees and my director's requests. Unfortunately, being in middle management was a tough place to start out my leadership career. I stayed there for 5 years in that position and decided to move back into staffing when I saw that the senior leadership was changing. So, reflection on leadership growth and development throughout the course. This course has provided some key information that allowed me to think about what it would be like to be a leader today and how I would utilize this information that I have learned and how I would apply it in a leadership position. As I think about the units 1 and 2, they were about self discovery, which I helped me to reflect and identify what our leadership purpose would be like in higher education. By incorporating a how, what, and why statement, we were able to get a better understanding of ourselves and how we communicate our purpose of why we do what we do. According to Sinek, 2009, all organizations know what they do, how they do it, but they actually don't know why they do it. It is those leaders that start with a why statement that have an innate ability to inspire those around them. And also, it's what separates leaders from those who just lead. It is a stated personal why statement that can help motivate people to work towards something. It also helps to define one's purpose in life. These statements can also be used for self-motivation or inspiration, especially when you need to make difficult decisions in life. It also helps to keep you focused on what really matters most to you. A personal why statement must be clearly written so people know exactly what drives you. So this is my personal uh, statement, why statement, especially with my nursing students who I train. So my what is to educate new perioperative students into the clinical environment. How is like to guide them with evidence-based practices to enrich their clinical thinking and clinical judgment skills. And why, one why I like to do it, and to empower new nursing students to reach their fullest potential in the operating room. So, Unit 3 was about traits and personalities. So, this question elicits some thought to whether humans are born with leadership traits or they have the ability to develop leadership skills. I believe that leadership qualities are a combination of traits, abilities, and skills. We all have the ability to be leaders in nursing education. I do believe some skills take time to develop, especially as we learn through experience. To be a leader, you must inspire others, lead by example, and cultivate an environment of trust and equality. I'm sorry. We must continue to reflect on ourselves and learn from our experiences. In order for us to grow as leaders, we can learn how to develop ourselves by developing an attitude of reflexivity, taking knowledge gained and applying it to make transformational change in our nursing educational practices. Knowing this, we can start to discover our leadership strengths and weaknesses and improve upon them. So, what strengths were discovered? As a leader in the past, it was important for me to reflect on those times and decide what worked and what didn't work, and what areas I needed to work on for the future. I have become more self aware of my strengths and weaknesses and have been able to identify where I need to improve on my skills and abilities. I have also been a good communicator. Communication is key in any leadership position, and it is paramount to continue to prioritize open communication with all employees. I hope to always reflect on areas that I can improve on my leadership skills. Personal branding on social media can also help you to build relationships and stand out among others. I use LinkedIn, but never realized the importance of personal branding. It is another way of that people get to know you, who you are, and what you stand for. Stand for. Excuse me. By creating a personal brand, you can showcase your beliefs, ideas, and how you represent yourself as a leader. I think it is important to sell yourself in a way you want to be seen by others and not by what others may think of you. It also helps for recruiters to see what value you can add to an organization and by showcasing your skills and abilities. It is also about building your own reputation by being genuine, authentic, and credible on a professional platform. I enjoyed working on this elevator pitch. I think the elevator pitch exercise was great, especially when you're trying to brand yourself or have people get to know you very quickly. By the elevator pitch is like a really quick way of introducing or selling yourself, getting across a point or two, and making a connection with somebody. It's called an elevator pitch because it roughly takes about the time you spend riding that elevator with someone. You never know where it can lead. And I thought that was a great exercise to certainly make a quick connection or have someone have something to remember you by. So units 6 and 7 were about task relational continuum, and then also about mission, vision, value, and goal statements. So what does this mean? So the task and relationship style, leadership styles, both contribute to value of an organization. Knowing each type of leadership style can help you to understand your leaders' behaviors or expectation and the responsibilities for the group. Task-oriented behaviors focus on efficiency, clarification, production. Relationship-oriented behaviors focus on the development of trust, commitment, and cooperation in work teams. So this is a value to understand what type of leader that you are working with, and this way you'll understand their roles. What I've learned is that every leader needs a varying degree of task relationship behaviors. By having both of these leadership qualities, leaders can help followers indirectly achieve their goals of the department while also helping to increase the quality of relationships with all team members. Creating a positive social climate is often essential for project teams to be able to work effectively on a task. So next was the mission, vision, value, and goal statements. So what are these statements? They serve as a guide for an organization to stay focused on their goals and objectives and to communicate their purpose and values to their stakeholders. Stakeholders mean administrators, employees, etc. A mission statement helps to communicate the purpose of an organization and motivate their stakeholders to work towards a common goal. A vision statement provides a clear direction for the future for everyone in an organization and inspires all stakeholders to work towards achieving a shared vision. So it is important to know your organization's mission and vision statements as a leader because it helps you to understand the direction where your organization is heading to. It is also important that a mission and vision statement are aligned with your strategic planning when you're trying to be a change agent. You can't change if you don't know what direction you're going in, right? So your plans as a leader will include these statements in order for an organization to meet its goals. Without them, you literally have no direction. So units 8 was about leading interprofessional teams to achieve its goals. Okay, this time was to explore leadership and communication skills to lead highly functioning interprofessional teams in achieving goals. So I will differentiate between the two, what I've learned. So in order to create a constructive intrapersonal work environment, a leader has good communication skills that are continuously exist. A leader allows team members and should allow them to be able to listen and as well as speak out within a team context. All team members have the ability to discuss and resolve difficulties within a team. It is also important to have respect and understanding of the roles that others have within that team. So, interprofessional teams is leaders. I'm sorry, let me just continue. A team environment should also value the diversity and clearly have input from a range of staff that bring experience and attributes to the team. Um, Leader allows teams to have a clear vision and role of the purpose. There should also be reflexibility within the team to be able to respond to a constantly changing environment that covers each other's role when needed. So this is a team leader. That's professional working environment. And professional teams, it is important that leaders have the knowledge and expertise of their team goals. Team leaders should also be able to develop interpersonal team relationships while having the team also share the same common goal. Team leaders have good listening skills, and they allow their team members to share their ideas and feel as if they are being heard, not just directed in their role. So these is some team leader qualities I think were very effective, and they were something that I will also remember and learn. This was actually a very good unit for me to take into my leadership position. So dimensions of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this was an important concept, or something that I think as leaders we need to keep this always in the back of our head, that we have this type of environment for our employees. So a good leader will also appreciate different opinions and perspectives and ideas. A diverse workforce brings about a range of experiences, perspective, and ideas that can enhance creativity, innovation, and problem solving. Promoting equity ensures that everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed, regardless of their race, gender, or background. And to me, that's very important, because I'm all about being on an equal level across the board. An inclusive environment also fosters a sense of belonging and community, which can improve staff retention and job satisfaction. Excuse me. Uh, these are all important things that leaders need to be aware of, and they need to incorporate into their work environment. Without this, I think you'll start getting some. You'll start getting a lot of people who are not happy. It affects their job satisfaction, their work quality, etc., etc. So having diversity, equity, and inclusion fosters a good workplace environment. So what I've learned is that no matter whether you're leading or inter teams, it is important to work with both types of leaders that engage in your employees during projects, also by promoting support, open communication, and collaboration and teamwork. While creating interpersonal working environment or directing interprofessional teams, we need to keep in mind that promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace is critical to the success of nursing and higher education institutions. I have learned that having a diverse and inclusive workplace brings about different ideas, perspectives, and views that we as leaders all need to appreciate. Embracing these differences and promoting inclusion can keep a workplace healthy and where everyone also feels valued. So units 10 and 11 focused on being a change agent and crisis leaders and management. So Lewin's theory of planned change involved three stages: unfreezing, moving, and refreezing. And what I got out of this is when your employees understand that you're just not told we're making a change, but when you have an understanding of what each stage under his theory really means, I think everybody's more receptive to the change and why the change is being done. So I'm just going to go real quick. An unfreezing stage involves obstacles to change, challenges in the current system. Moving is to help see the benefits of the new system and the updating and how this whole change is going to go about. Refreezing reinforces the new behavior and incorporates the new change. I think, like I said before, when employees have an understanding of the change and change is broken down to what makes sense to them, they're going to be a lot more receptive. Next was crisis leadership and management. And what this unit was about is basically about the different roles at the different levels of leaders and what they oversee in a crisis. So a leader would create a vision and provide direction and encouragement to an organization. At the management level, they focus more on controlling and containing the crisis as quickly and as possibly effectively as possible. So what I've gained from this theory is that leaders use the Lewin's theory of plan change to help others through any change transition as if they understand the process of the change. I would love to share this with others to get a better understanding of the change process, which also helped me too. I have learned that having a diverse and inclusive workplace brings about different ideas, perspective that we also spoke about earlier. So also understanding the different roles in crisis leaders and management, you have a better leaders as employees. You understand the leaders' roles and responsibilities, and it just gives you a better idea of what happens at different levels. Okay. Effective communication during these with a crisis leader or the manager is effective communication is key during the crisis. So you are able to understand what's going on and that whatever the end goal is, that you're all going to reach it together. Okay. That's what the units 10 and 11 about. It was a quick overview, but basically it was understanding the different roles within the leadership. So here's another one is leadership ethics and practice. This was a good a unit which just went over fraudulent. We have an example of the nurses in Florida were handed out fraudulent diplomas, saying that they were qualified to be nurses, and basically they were not. So fraudulent nurses and the potential consequences on patient care and the healthcare system as a whole can really affect patient care. So because nursing is a highly specialized and ethical profession that requires rigorous education training, there are no shortcuts to nursing. And it is our duty to maintain the highest ethical principles at all time, no matter at what level, even at the leadership. But it is important when you see something that's unethical, that looks fraudulent, you need to arc it up to your leadership. Leadership will go up and take it to wherever they will take care of it at the highest level. It is crucial to report any misconduct or potential safety concerns to the appropriate authority. Okay, as nurses, it is our primary commitment is to the patient, and we have the duty to maintain highest ethical principles at all times. And like I said, it is crucial to report any misconduct or anything potentially not safe for patient care. Okay. And that's basically, now the next one is strategic planning. It goes over the strategic plans, and it goes through the steps what the strategic planning is. We know that the beginning of a strategic plan starts with the plan that aligns our universities or organization's mission, vision, and core values. It helps us identifying the key stakeholder groups and their needs and expectations. Performing an environmental scan, including a SWOT analysis, which is another step in the strategic plan. A SWOT analysis is a reflection upon the organization's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that will assist in leveraging the things we do well and addressing and minimizing the potential obstacles to achieving our desired goals. So this is a strategic plan where it's set out and leaders will be involved and stakeholders, whoever's going to be involved in this plan. And then what we do is we go ahead and to evaluate this plan, we put metrics is another essential component to strategic planning, which it helps organizations track performance over time and evaluate the effectiveness of our activities. So if you put out a plan out there and the metrics come back that everything was satisfactory, well, there you go. It just tells you that whatever was in that plan wasn't working and that needs to be relooked at or redirected. In higher education, using metrics helps administrators with transparency and accountability, prioritizes the mission and vision of any organization, and clarifies how the work employees throughout the institution contributes to the overall plan. So what have I learned through the reflection of my growth and development throughout this course? So what knowledge was gained, what strengths were discovered, what areas still need to be developed, and how the learning gained through this course will advance advance me as a leader. And in conclusion is how you view yourself as a leader in nursing education may have changed you over this course. So I looked at this, what knowledge I gained or what knowledge has I gained as a leader. So I'm going to just give a little bit of both. So leaders, I think, should have self-reflection to improve their own leadership skills. That's that reflectivity. I think to learn from your mistakes and move on, you need to certainly do a lot of self-reflection. And I like that as a skill upon myself, no matter whether I'm a leader or not, of self-reflection. Excuse me. I think leaders should lead by not only by example, but they have by leading their interprofessional teams, as we discussed earlier, and the leadership styles. I've learned about the leadership styles, and knowing their role can help me to understand them as what their leadership roles are also. And same thing with the interprofessional teams, their roles and how they lead through these types of interprofessional areas. I think leaders should be aware of the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think that this is something that should be at the forefront of how they lead, that they are meeting and knowing the importance of diversity, equity, inclusion, and the rationale of the importance of this. And I myself have learned a lot through this. And I certainly in a team setting will look for diversity, make sure everybody's treated equal, their opinions are taken and valued equally, and including everybody as a team member. I think inclusion is important, that everybody is valued as a team, and we're on target for the same goals, and I think that's very important. I did learn a lot from there. Leaders should be change agents. Of course, if you're in a leadership position, you should be looking to change always through your abilities and skills, always looking to make things better for an organization. And I think, and I will also use as a change agent, I will use Lewin's theory and go through and explain to anyone who's involved in change, the steps so they have a better understanding and will accept change a lot more easier. Excuse me. So what strengths were discovered? Okay, after this course, I believe I can take on a leadership position by continuing to make a difference in the nursing profession. This course has also helped me to reflect on my past management position and identify my strengths and weaknesses. And I've discovered my do's and don'ts, and I will certainly work on and now recognize where I can do a lot better in a leadership position. So what areas still need to be developed? Like I said, I would like to be a part of a strategic planning team. I have never been a part of that. I think being a part of that process can make me a better leader. I have a better understanding of where we're going, what our goals are, what the values of an organization is, and where we're going to be going. And I can involve anyone who I'm leading underneath me, involve them in this strategic plan also, because everybody needs to be going in the right direction. So once I have a better understanding of the strategic plan and being a part of it, I could now take that and educate others to the vision and mission of the whole organization. And that's what I like to do, is be a part of that so I can educate. And I would certainly use the continuous reflectivity. I personally like this. I will continue to do this, and this is a great exercise and to help me become a better leader also. So how will the knowledge gained advance your leadership agenda? This course has increased my knowledge and awareness of the leadership role. Because we are faced with challenges in the healthcare profession, this course has helped me to rethink about having a plan as a leader and how planning is essential to work towards an organization's mission, vision, in order to meet their goals. Like I said, taking every unit that I've learned and taking something from that unit and using it in a leadership role, I think is really going to help me reevaluate myself as a leader and put me in a direction that would make me a better leader also. How has your view of yourself as a leader in nursing education changed over the course? Like I said, I think I can become a better change agent. I think I can contribute a lot more information. By improving on myself, I can help others improve on them and be a team leader that I can not only work on individual people within a team, but work as a team overall. And I think I've learned a lot through this course. As nurse educators, it is important to continue to advance our nursing practice. Change is always occurring, and today's leaders need to be continued to develop and adapt new skills to lead in higher education. Leaders today have to continue to reflect on their current and past ways of leading to help move towards transformational change. And I think this is key. This is a key statement. And I think as I developed this, I think this was important of what I learned overall, that we as leaders, we need to continue to change, reevaluate ourselves, gain some new knowledge and abilities, and develop ourselves as we can help develop others too. So I appreciate everything that I've learned through this course. And thank you for listening.